The next day, she came in for an office visit. You know what she told me? She said, Dr. Jabawi, that phone call was literally the reason I didn't kill myself. When you say saving somebody's life, you don't have to just talk about saving somebody's life from a heart attack. I am known as the doctor that take away meds, not add meds. You know, one line that works for me every time, and patients absolutely love it, is saying, feels good to be back, dude.
Yeah, I know, bro. Honestly, it's been kind of a little crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's been a long month, but it just feels good to be back with the crew. Thomas, you look great, by the way. You lost a lot of weight.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I lost about 20 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Your face, I could tell.
Yeah, thanks, bro. You look like you gained weight.
I did a little
But in
bit.
a good way. Like, you look muscular. You look buff.
So I recently went to Europe, and I realized the difference between the way we live in America and the way they live in Europe. It's a whole different ball game, dude.
Absolutely. I bet it's the food,
They
right?
walk way more, and for some reason, every time I ate there, I didn't feel bloated. I didn't get acid reflux. I felt like they are healthier than we are, and I wish that would change.
Are the people nicer? They're probably a lot nicer there too, right?
It's not. They are nicer. They are nicer. But one guy in Italy told me something. He's like, "We work to live. You live to work."
Yeah, that's the American way.
Yeah, and it's like you constantly work. You forget about how beautiful America is, because America is a beautiful country.
Yeah,
like
it
I
really
love.
is.
Everyone wants to be in America, right?
Yeah, everybody.
It's a beautiful country. Has so many beautiful places, but we just don't take advantage of it. I mean, we live in the most beautiful beaches in the world, but we don't take advantage of it.
I really
right?
don't, bro. I don't remember the last time I actually went to the beach.
But when I came back, I did feel more refreshed, more positive, and I think the walking makes a
You
difference.
told me you were like walking like what 10, 15 miles a day.
Minimum.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
like-
crazy. Then you get to stop in these little towns and eat some actual
Florence
good
was
food.
beautiful.
Nothing
Yeah.
processed.
Yeah, it was
you
amazing.
You went to Florence, Venice,
Milan, Lake Como.
Right,
Lake
Lake
Como
Como.
is probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
That's awesome.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
I like
how's the office going, man? How's everything?
Everything's great, man. Honestly, everything's great. The office is really busy. I don't know. Right now, it's probably cooling down a bit, I would say, because a lot of our
Snowbirds?
patients are flying back up north. Enjoy up north. Have fun. Stay there as long as you can. And we'll be waiting for you when you get back. But no, everything's been good, bro. I've been sleeping a lot better. I've been focusing a lot on my sleep. And
What have changed since you?
So to be completely honest with you, and I think this is probably one of like the biggest part of my weight loss journey was sleep. I try to focus on at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep. But I've tried this hostage tape, if you've ever heard of it.
I've seen it on the internet.
Yeah, it's pretty popular on Instagram.
I've seen everyone using it now.
So they have the tape for your nose.
Yeah.
Which helps you breathe so much better. And they actually have a tape for your mouth, which a lot of people are a little hesitant about.
Yeah, I'm scared about that.
But to be honest with you, if you use both, I've been waking up with so much more energy. My wife told me that I don't snore as much, because I used to snore a lot, but she told me she doesn't hear me snore at all. And it's just, you wake up with this kind of relief or sense of I've actually had a full night's sleep. So it's been a blessing, and I love it. I use it every single night. Check it out, guys. Hostage tape. I think Andy Elliott also.
He markets it a lot. Yeah,
advertises it and markets it a lot. So hostage tape.
You've been bragging about it for real.
Because it worked.
Yeah, it's not like hey, we're not getting paid. We're not sponsored by them. It's just I feel like you genuinely love it. You've been recommending it to everybody.
I do. And initially I bought the nose tape first, and it helped. It was good. I was breathing a lot better. But the combination of the mouth and nose tape is just perfect.
Wait, you do both at the same time?
I do both at the same time.
Do most people just do one, or?
Well, listen, we are supposed to breathe through our nose and, of course, eat through our mouth and taste, right? So it's kind of like if you feel like you're covering your mouth, you might feel a little bit, I don't want to say claustrophobic, but you feel like a little scared. But automatically you compensate and breathe through your nose. So I've been breathing through my nose a lot better just because of that, because I've just been using my nose a lot more to breathe. And when we sleep, it's a lot better. You don't wake up with bad breath. You don't wake up with a dry mouth or your throat hurting because you've been snoring so much too. So even people who have obstructive sleep apnea, if you're not using your CPAP, try hostage tape. Check it out. I promise you won't regret it. So
I know you've been talking about it. I mean, some people can use that tape just to stop talking, but and not just use it at night. Maybe use it during the day.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think one thing that people don't understand, even with obstructive sleep apnea, or even people that snore, it's not just the oxygen levels that's the problem, right? It's waking up in the middle of REM. We always talk about it, like taking naps, right? Taking an hour nap is not great for you. You wake up, you're 15 minutes into REM, you interrupt REM, and you feel horrible,
you do.
Right? And that's one thing I feel like you are absolutely right. I've been able to stay in REM a little bit longer, and it's really changed my life. I really don't think people understand when we say exercise, diet, like healthy lifestyle, like when you're eating good and sleeping, like those have changed my life drastically. I swear. Like
I agree.
Even when people talk about anxiety, depression, like every patient I talk to, I say, before I'm going to start any medications, are you sleeping? No. Are you exercising? No. Are you eating healthy? No. So let's fix that first, and then we can work on treatment and everything else. Everybody wants the quick answer. Give me a sleeping pill. Give me this. I drink alcohol before I go to sleep. I do this. You don't need to do that. You can fix your sleep by changing your diet, by exercising, small little things. Those three things are so crucial to life.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've been doing that a lot with my patients where, if they want a sleep aid or if they want something to help them give them more energy or like B12 injections, I tell them, first of all, if you're not ready to make any lifestyle modifications, then we're not ready to give you anything else. We have to exhaust our options first before we try anything. And let's take you, for example. I could tell just by looking at your face that you've been sleeping better. You've been exercising a lot because you look bigger. It changes your whole life. It changes your work.
Your mood.
It changes your mood. It changes your performance, whether in bed or whether at the job site or wherever it is. You just become a better person overall. You become more tolerant to a lot of bullshit too because you're more patient, you're more relaxed instead of just constantly having headaches and being anxious and just not sleeping well. So I agree with you. You need those factors in your life. And if you don't, you're missing out. You really are.
You know what else I did, AJ? It makes a huge difference is every time before I go to sleep, no matter how many times I used to tell people, I would go on my phone. Even if it's just for 1 minute, you look at something on Instagram, whether it's the war in the Middle East, whether it's in Ukraine, whether people are dying, starving, whatever you see, it makes you, whatever that is, it changes your whole mood. It affects your sleep.
Absolutely.
And also one of the biggest things that I've changed in my life that's made a difference is not looking at my phone when I first wake up.
Yeah.
I used to always wake up, look at my emails, look at everything. It's the worst thing you could do. Wake up, stretch.
Yep.
And I always say, like, this is going to sound weird, but seriously, go outside with no shoes, put your feet in the grass, feel it, man. It just feels so nice.
Amazing.
Walk outside, feel the grass. Don't look straight to your phone. Drink some water, stretch, whatever you have to do. Don't even look at your phone until you need to look at it. Like in the morning, first thing, waking up in the morning, looking at your phone is the worst thing you could do.
That's the worst. Because it can break your day, maybe make your day depending if you
Change
see.
your
But
whole
the
mood.
majority of social media is negative these days. So
Yeah.
it's like it's going to put you in a bad mood.
Yeah,
automatically
in a bad mood.
I agree.
And I think saying these things is one thing, but doing it, and I feel like both of us have been doing it a lot more, which is why we feel so good. I feel like I'm a lot less anxious. I haven't been biting my nails.
Yep.
I haven't been shaking my leg, which is for the people that understand what I'm talking about with the nails and, doing this with your leg. I've been doing it a lot less, and I feel I'm not so fidgety. I'm not so tense. Also, like my back pain, my neck pain, all of those have improved.
Yeah,
because
course.
I'm not so tense all day.
You're not tense. You're more relaxed. You're more muscular. But if you feel like all of this is a burden or too much to start changing, we could start with one thing at a time. You just start walking more. Start going to the gym. If you're not going to change your diet, you're not going to change your sleep habits, pick one thing. Work on it for a month. Guarantee you that by itself will change you. And once that changes you, then you're going to realize that you're actually sleeping a lot better just because you're exercising more. Your body's a little bit more tired. You're more relaxed, and you get to sleep better too. So baby steps.
100%.
Baby steps.
And even for smokers, one of the things I always talk about with smokers, I'm like, the reason that you also don't quit is you have to be addicted to the gym.
Yeah.
The same way you're addicted to that cigarette, if you get an addiction to the gym and you genuinely love it and you realize how much cigarette is affecting your performance, right?
Absolutely.
You'll start cutting down. If people understood, I'm talking to you. If you understood how much cigarettes also affects your sex,
It does.
That's like the number one thing men care about, right? It is affecting your sex drive, guys. And people ask me, like, how does it cause erectile dysfunction, right? To get an erection, you need to vasodilate, right? You have to get blood supplied to the penis to be able to get erections. Cigarettes causes that to shrink, so it vasoconstricts. If you vasoconstrict, doesn't dilate, you can't get erection. It's one of the biggest causes of erectile dysfunction.
Yep, it is. It seems like you're an expert in that, though. Like, you know exactly, like you were holding it properly. And
yeah, well, my problem is the opposite. It doesn't go down. So I've been trying to find a solution for it to bring it down.
Did that start as soon as you started working out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Must be nice.
Usually people have trouble getting it up. I have trouble getting it down.
Getting it down?
Yeah.
Wow. That's probably all that Viagra.
Do you have any recommendation? Yeah, right. Blue Chew. Get yourself some Blue Chew. Well, AJ, and what's the deal with everyone coming up with a new, have you heard of the honey, Blue Chew, all of these new things that everyone's trying? Is this good?
Do you want to know
people?
why? Because a lot more people are diagnosed with erectile dysfunction at a younger age.
More than ever.
Everybody. You got people in their 30s having erectile dysfunction. I mean, I haven't seen 20s. I think 20s are still pretty good. But 30s, 40s, it used to be 60s, right?
Yeah.
It used to be 60s, maybe 50s a little bit if you had risk factors. But every single person, and honestly, a lot of it is psychosocial, by the way.
Big time.
A lot of it, people, and the pill might not even work. All these honey and Blue Chew, they're not going to work because if it's a psychological problem, you need to fix your stress first. Once you reduce your stress, you'll realize that you get your erections back.
100%.
So
I had a patient today. He was 70 years old. His testosterone level came back 740.
740.
Yeah,
okay.
Before I knew
It's
that,
not
he
bad.
came into me to get testosterone injections.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what's the secret? Because it seems like nowadays men have lower testosterone than they've ever had in history.
Yep.
And, you know, they always talk about the alpha male and all of this, but it is true though, man. Like, men are having less testosterone.
Yep.
And that all is affected by sleep, exercise, and diet.
It is.
Because there are foods, guys, that can increase your testosterone level.
Yep, naturally.
You
Yep.
know, you don't have to do all the other stuff because once you start the injections, you got to do it for life.
And muscle strengthening too.
100%.
Muscle strengthening. And specifically lower extremities.
If you are 45 years old, 40 years old, and your testosterone level is 200, and you are unable to get to the performance and to the level you want, and you need it to enhance it, you've tried everything else, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Makes sense.
that's fine. But
Yeah.
if you haven't tried those things, try them first.
I agree. So, and that's what it is, man. I feel like a lot of people these days are just, they kind of hit a wall, and I don't feel like they really exhausted their options when it comes to lifestyle modifications, and everybody just wants a quick fix so they can get back to that crazy lifestyle of theirs of work
I did too.
and kids. And
I did too for a while.
Yep.
Until you actually try the lifestyle modification. It sounds so easy, but once
Yeah.
you change it, you just feel so much better.
Yeah, agreed, man. Yeah, man. So, but other than that, we're doing good, man. I mean, I'm still continuing on the weight loss journey. I'm exercising and loving life and sleeping better. And
DocTok's been great. I think a lot of people have asked us why we haven't posted as much. We are posting, but we're just taking it slow.
Yeah,
There's been a
we
lot
are.
going on in our life, and
Yep.
we're trying not to stop. Just stay
Yeah.
consistent as much as possible.
and stay positive too, and stay positive. So,
And people have so much negative comments sometimes, right?
Yeah, well.
They pick on everything.
That's-
It's like we talked about the phones and how you shouldn't have it next to you. Everyone's like, man, that's bull crap. It's like, dude, did you go to medical school? How do you know this? Have you done the research? Listen, I feel like everyone now on social media acts like they're an expert in a field that they should not be talking about.
yeah, because they saw 2 videos on it and think they
You're not
know
an expert,
everything.
man. It takes time to know this stuff. And if you
Yeah.
don't, take your time to learn it before you go on there and talk.
Yeah, and it takes experience. I mean, you could read a book 100 times, it doesn't matter. But when you've been seeing it for 10, 15 years on thousands of patients, you
100%.
start picking up on a lot of things and understanding what works and what doesn't work. It's not about what this guy wrote in a book, because Al Cavadlo, remember we had him on the show?
Yeah.
He said something that was actually kind of cool, is because he was like, everybody has their own input. This book says intermittent fasting is good. This other book says intermittent fasting is bad. Everybody's going to give you their 10 cents and their information. But the reality of it is the majority, it speaks for itself. When you see it in people, in patients, you start picking up on what really works and what doesn't work. And there's nothing better than just change what your routine is. If you've been doing the same thing every day and you're not getting the results that you want, you need to get out of that comfort zone, that box that you're in, and do
100%.
something different.
100%. And that's the problem, is people get so comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
And comfortable to a lot of people, we see old folks, right?
Yeah.
And you can tell who's lived a healthy lifestyle and who wasn't healthy. The smokers,
Absolutely.
the uncontrolled diabetics. You can see where they are in their life. And that's why a lot of time when we try to tell people, like, guys, we see the outcome.
Yep.
Like, there's nobody that can see it better than us, because we're seeing these old folks and we can tell who's healthy and who's not based off of how they live their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just how they feel, their risk factors and what they complain of. So it's definitely something that we need to consider, you know, especially for our patients too, man.
What is like the one thing that you're seeing that has changed over the last 10 years more? Like, other than like more uncontrolled diabetics, blood pressure being out of control, more smokers.
I feel like I've become a psychiatrist.
Agreed.
I feel like I'm doing a lot of behavioral therapy in the office. I'm talking more, taking more times with the patients because mentally they need it.
They need it.
You know, a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, you know, a lot of bipolar patients that I've been diagnosing as well. And I'm kind of increasing more and more medications. I mean, not adding to the list, but more increasing the dose, because a lot of it they don't follow, man. Yeah. We're increasing.
You're talking about like diabetic, not psych meds.
Yeah.
But dude, the social aspect. I wanted to tell you a story. I had a patient, very very close patient of mine. Her husband died. Okay, and she felt lonely. You know, 62 years with him, and like 2-3 days after her husband died, the funeral was over, and she felt the loneliness. I called her out of nowhere. I said, "Hey, I just wanted to check up on you. I thought about you all day today, and I wanted to let you know I'm here for you." The next day, she came in for an office visit. You know what she told me? She said, "Dr. Jabawi, that phone call was literally the reason I didn't kill myself." Wow. Like, it gives me chills. I don't want to sit here and cry. But she literally told me, like, that phone call. Imagine just spending 10 extra minutes checking up. Like, for all primary cares, all physicians, specialists, if a family member or somebody loses their husband, their wife, check up on them.
Yeah, I agree.
Just 10 minutes will literally change their life. This woman literally said, "I thought about how I wanted to kill myself before you called me." And just talking to her, letting her know that I'm there for you, that I'm checking up on you, she literally said, "I almost killed myself until you gave me that phone call." So you can, when you say saving somebody's life, you don't have to just talk about saving somebody's life from a heart attack, from a stroke, saving their life. Suicide is huge, man. The suicide rates are so high right now, especially with the veterans. That's why I put extra effort into the veterans, because they need it.
I agree.
These veterans really need us, and they need that extra effort. And just one simple phone call will save somebody's life.
Yeah, but a lot of these doctors don't understand that, unfortunately. And it's really sad, because it's we really need it. We really need it, and it's needed. And I feel like a lot of the psychiatrists these days are, I don't know if it's our area, but we don't have the availability and the resources of a lot of psychiatrists. I mean, we have therapists as well. A lot of insurance companies don't cover.
Because they're giving meds only now, though. That's the problem, too.
Bro. Patients don't want all the medications.
Keep going up. Trazodone 50, 100, 150, 200, 300. My God, it's like, I am known as a doctor that take away meds, not add meds. Yeah. I don't want to give them meds. I want to work on a plan on getting you off of the meds.
But not all the patients are
not ready.
Are willing
but
to
you gotta
change.
Mentally work with them to fix it.
I agree.
I agree. And also, like, for the doctors that are severely out of shape, these patients, you're not going to motivate them.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things the patients say, like, we love that you're a doctor, that you're in shape, because we listen to you.
Yeah,
because
of course.
You're showing that whatever you're doing is actually working.
You're motivational, bro. They're not going to, listen to a really morbidly obese patient tell them to lose weight. I'm sorry. It's just, you need to set the example for your patients. And if you're not setting the example, you probably need to follow your own advice.
100%.
You know?
I think sometimes physicians in general need to understand that you are there for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are there for the patient. The patient is not just there for you.
For you, absolutely.
Okay? Like, yeah, you went to Harvard, you went to Princeton, we always talk about this, but at the end of the day, you are there for the patient.
Yep.
Make a difference in that patient's life.
Yep.
When you go out to check them out, this is another thing that I've been doing a lot more, is go up to the front with them and guide them.
Guide them.
Look, just take out that referral sheet. Say, hey, I like this GI doctor. One line that works for me every time, and patients absolutely love it, is saying, if you were my mother or if you were my father, this is what I would do.
Yeah.
This is the most important line you could use.
Absolutely.
Because the second, if they ask you, like, Dr. Jabawi, should I do that surgery? And you say, if you were my mother, I wouldn't. They listen to you.
Yeah. Especially
as your own family member.
Yeah. As a primary care physician, it's actually crucial. And but again, you come back to the patients that don't want to hear it. I feel like a lot of doctors also don't care about how patients are taking their medications as well, too, right?
Yeah.
Are you taking your medication properly? Yes. And they don't ask. Well, how?
Yeah.
Tell me. So are you taking that in the morning, taking that at night? How much are you taking?
That's the whole point of bringing the bottles.
Exactly.
Let me look at your bottles.
Yep.
Are you taking it? Are you not taking it?
Yep.
And going through the medications with them. Do you know how much of a difference explaining each thing to a patient what it is? Let me ask you a question. Before the patients leave, the instructions that you give them, do you write them down for them sometimes?
Yeah, not all of them, but sometimes. Because a lot of them, some of them already know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're with it.
You know, but there are some that I do write down. And I put on a piece of paper exactly what to do. And a lot of home remedies, too.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, you know, what's good for pain? That's natural. You know, like turmeric is good for pain, right? So you write it down for them. Yeah, exactly. There's so many
If you haven't tried golden milk, guys, try that out. It's
delicious.
It's amazing.
Yeah, too. So, yeah, man. But other than that, everything else is great, man. I'm happy.
Back. We're ready to roll.
DocTok is rolling.
Guys, please, if there's any suggestions, any videos you want us to make, any topics you want us to cover, let us know. If you're not following, hit that follow button, guys. Thank you guys so much.
DocTok is back, baby. All right. We'll see you guys soon.